It is May 2026. Are you wondering what would be the best beach town in Texas to invest in or to buy that dream home on the beach? Well, I've spent the last 5 years exploring the Texas coast, trying to figure out from my perspective what would be the best beach town to invest in. And I'm going to be upfront, is everybody's going to have different things that are important to them. And on the Texas coast, I can easily say there is something for everybody. In this video, I want to share the 2026 real estate market updates, comparing Galveston, Rockport, Port Aransas, North Padre, and South Padre Island. You know, the Texas coast consists of a whole lot more than that. All of the Texas coast is impacted by potential hurricanes, so especially in these beach communities, they're all going to have, require flood insurance and windstorm insurance. They all will have some level of tourism, but it's really interesting when you look at the numbers, what the amount of tourism does to property values, and the places that are more residential and home to people, what that does to the real estate value. And so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Galveston first, then we're going to do Rockport, Port Aransas, North Padre, and then South Padre Island. In this video, I am only doing single family. By the way, I'm Sondra with Texas Coast Life. I've been a real estate agent for I think over 20 years. I've lost count. I have been living here on the Texas coast for 5 years. I am a Texas native. I grew up in College Station. Okay, this report is using numbers specifically from January through March of 2026 this year. However, I've been following these trends since 5 years ago. Although life has changed, such as droughts and proposed desalination plants, the relationship between each of these markets has kind of stayed the same over the last 5 years. Let's start with Galveston, which offers urban beach access because of its proximity to Houston. It had the most sales of any of the coastal towns that I looked at. And I'll have a summary chart attached at the end of the video, but the price per square foot is an average of $274, kind of right in the middle of the pack. The average sales price was about $500,000. Median was a little bit less, $437,333. Now, for single family homes, there was a 12-month inventory at the end of March. Now, Rockport is a little town, but it had 79 homes sell with an average price of $253 a square foot, so that makes it cheaper. Average sales price was $348,500. The median was $427,281. Now, Rockport has a 10-month inventory, so that means it is a buyer's market, but not anything too crazy. Port Aransas, which is comparatively small but extremely popular, had the highest priced homes at an average of $930,024. The median was a little bit lower. Now they've got a 16 months of inventory, very similar to South Padre. But let's talk about North Padre first. North Padre Island is actually part of the city of Corpus Christi. The average sales price was $499,390. You might notice that there is stage 3 drought restrictions. These drought restrictions are also impacting Rockport and Port Aransas. I have other videos that have specifically looked at the North Padre Island sales, and they're actually strong. The housing inventory of 7 months in North Padre Island actually makes it the only beach town that I'm looking at that is a a neutral market, just tip tiny to buyer. Neutral is around 6 to 7 months of inventory. North Padre definitely benefits from it being part of Corpus Christi and all the jobs available there. Now, at the other end of the spectrum is South Padre Island, which is definitely more of a resort and tourism type area. The houses are running $355 a square foot. Most of the places are condos. To add a little context, only 7 homes sold in the first quarter in South Padre, but 48 condos sold. Of the houses that sold, they were $355 a square foot. There is a 16.2 months worth of inventory. And so, very similar to Port Aransas, it's more of a vacation area rather than a residential area. But you know what? It sure is close to Starbase, and it's so cool to be able to watch the rockets when they launch from South Padre. So to recap, North Padre Island, which is in Corpus Christi, is the most affordable by price per square foot. It is also the closest to being a neutral market compared to all the other towns. It's attractive to working professionals and while still providing waterfront, fishing, and retirement vacation. Rockport is very much a retirement and fishing lifestyle community, although it's still possible for people to drive a little ways to get to work. Galveston is got its urban beach access. There's so much to do, and if somebody's got medical issues, that may be the best city to be at. Now, South Padre and Port Aransas, you both can have vacation rentals. Either one of those locations feels very much like a vacation. It is just really nice and relaxing. So you're going to have to decide what is going to work best with your parameters of what you're wanting to do. So to summarize, is if you're a potential buyer or seller in May 2026, it is important to pay attention to actual data and not just the fear in the headlines that's currently going on. I'm Sondra Meyer with Texas Coast Life. I cover real estate, water issues, and coastal living here along the Texas coast. If you enjoy this type of local market analysis, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Bye.